The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, hub of history, education, medicine, technology, culture. But in 2003, Massachusetts ranked a shocking 43rd among 50 states in the formation of African American-owned businesses. It was then that a group of major Massachusetts corporations and organizations called the Boston Collaborative stepped forward and funded a comprehensive study of the Massachusetts business community. The goal of the study? To develop an understanding of the barriers minority business owners faced in Massachusetts and formulate effective ways to eliminate those barriers.
This region has a ways to go in being more welcoming and successful in having minority business-owned enterprises in the fabric and active in the community and making a big difference in the region we live.
It is important for those emerging demographic groups to have their own economic base, to develop their own businesses, to be able to create their own jobs rather than to depend on governments or mainstream corporate enterprises to create those jobs.
You don't have a healthy economic environment in any place where there are large segments of people who may be disaffected or who cannot participate in the economic development of their community.
Today, the recommendations of that 2003 study form the cornerstone of an innovative nonprofit organization called the Initiative for a New Economy, or INE. Founded in 2006 with financial support from the City of Boston, the Boston Foundation, Liberty Mutual Group, the United Way of Massachusetts Bay, and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts, INE is the first of its kind in New England, a consulting collaborative dedicated to growing minority-owned businesses, or suppliers, by creating profitable business relationships with large institutional purchasers in the private, government, nonprofit, and higher education arenas across Massachusetts and the Northeast.
Repeating the approaches of the past weren't going to work here. And it was Einstein who said that a indication of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Well, the founders of Initiative for a New Economy concluded that that was absolutely right and that we should try something different.
That something different is INE's innovative new business model that calls for action on two fronts. One, executing a comprehensive supplier development strategy for each minority supplier engaged. And two, developing active mentoring relationships between minority suppliers, INE, and institutional purchasers. Providing comprehensive supplier development and mentoring support is the heart of the INE model, to ensure that each minority business entrepreneur receives the information, the understanding, and the tools necessary to be effective when competing for business and when fulfilling a new opportunity to be a supplier of goods and services to a large company.
I feel as a business owner, sometimes there are ideas that you have or directions that you might want to go that you might not necessarily share with your team until it's finalized. And I think by having a mentor, it gives you the ability to talk to someone who might help with strategic direction or just give you a different perspective.
It helps us to get an objective view from somebody outside the company about what kinds of things we should be thinking about doing, where should we be planning to go as we grow.
INE helps suppliers with their financial and business strategies, marketing plans, presentation and bidding skills, building management teams, and working to strengthen the company's infrastructure, including IT and growth capacity.
Without INE's consultant services and the personal counseling and coaching that I received, we wouldn't be here today. It's that simple. We wouldn't have gotten the funding that we needed. We wouldn't have had the integrity in the business plan that we had. And their involvement in 2 words less made it happen.
Participating institutional purchasers and their senior management are embracing the importance of a diverse economy and building this supplier development role into their ongoing business strategies with positive results.
Supplier development is about identifying appropriate suppliers, identifying appropriate partners who might be able to use those suppliers in their businesses, and not just matching them up, which is sort of the traditional notion of supplier diversity, but also saying if things are not working, or if that business does not get a contract, taking it one step further to help those organizations develop.
Throughout the process, INE acts as trusted advisor for both the supplier and the institutional purchaser, facilitating the beginnings of a mutually beneficial, collaborative business relationship.
We get a lot of good information about each individual business so that we know exactly how much we can try to roll out at once or how much we can take on without overwhelming a small business.
The work we do with INE is highly collaborative. It's very honest and frank and open discussions about the suppliers or what they bring to us. We give them very dynamic and honest feedback, and it's likewise on their behalf.
Today, successful engagements with INE are yielding dividends to minority suppliers through new jobs, increased revenues, management teams better able to surmount the challenges they face, and enhanced capabilities that serve as foundations for expanded growth.
We've added 4 members to our office staff, and with the acquiring of the new contracts, we've added a significant number of delivery personnel, probably about doubled our staff in that area, and office-wise we are growing, continuing to grow.
INE has helped us get some contracts, which at the tangible side, they've helped some sales. They've also been tremendous in forcing us and working with us to get a strong strategic plan together when we made this move to this new facility. And thirdly, it's the intangible is we know we have this extended team that we can call on around to help move our company forward.
At the same time, purchasers are gaining important advantages for their businesses.
The experience that we've had with the vendors that we're using at Liberty Mutual is they have been competitively priced, but really much more important than the price is that they've delivered quality services and they've been attentive to the business needs at Liberty Mutual.
The keys to INE's success are a thorough vetting of the minority business enterprise and careful matching with institutional purchasers.
What INE brings to the table is they brought a full portfolio of vetted vendors that allows me to focus more on driving the best business deal for our members as opposed to trying to qualify the vendors themselves. So they really cut the work in half.
Involvement of senior-level management and procurement specialists in supplier development.
We're taking all of those notions that we normally do in our businesses around helping, coaching people to become successful and translating that into the minority business world.
Multi-year relationships with minority suppliers.
We are able to work with the company and the purchaser over an extended period of time, not only on the initial contract that might come through, but on subsequent opportunities that develop.
And a commitment to measurable results that document the success of minority business enterprise engagements and provide critical lessons learned and best practices.
One of the great things about INE is it's run with business measurables.
Every year since 2006, we've doubled the number of engagements we've been able to put together.
And it's all about jobs and revenue growth of the minority business enterprises, as well as satisfaction amongst the purchasers themselves.
Working with about 14 companies over the past few years, those companies that we have managed to get into at least one engagement, we've created 225 new jobs. And 38 of those were last year in what was a very tough economy.
Since its founding in 2006, INE has created hundreds of new jobs and millions in additional revenues for the minority businesses working with INE, while institutional purchasers have gained new minority suppliers and increased the number and size of contracts. In bringing together qualified minority business owners and institutional purchasers, the Initiative for a New Economy is strengthening the fabric of our communities, sending a message of economic inclusion and invigorating the overall economy of Massachusetts one company at a time. The Initiative for a New Economy, nurturing relationships, driving growth, and creating value.